doing and what's going on, and then there's going to be two other people who are going to speak, and then we're going to hear some music. And after I speak, I'm going to run away because I'm having technical difficulties, so I'm going to see if I can't get a cord, because we've got some images to show you. So just to start out, I teach. There's several people in here who know me very well because I've passed them all. I teach at City College, Baruch and Parsons, and so there's several students here and past students who I've taught, some from the undergrad and from the grad level. It's a result of that there's two things that happen. I've got a number of students who are from Nepal, and we all know what happened 2 weeks ago, which is kind of what motivated us to do this. And when the earthquake hit, I believe it was the 25th, that were days before their families, they were able to get a hold of their families. The lines had gone down. As a matter of fact, one of the students who's been instrumental in helping us had to leave already before we started. So you can imagine how emotional they were and how distraught. So oftentimes I find that my job is more than just as a professor, but in some cases I have to play the role of counselor. So I was affected. So I wanted to be involved. The other thing was in 2001, I actually went to Nepal. I've been to Kathmandu, and I went up into Annapurna. I trekked. I saw the old buildings. It really saddened my heart to think that the buildings that I saw are no longer standing. I ate the food, which is amazing, and I'm sure you're finding that out now. I met a lot of the people who are incredibly gracious, and there's a unique and very old culture. The thing I took away from it when I was there was, as old as the culture is, and as remote and landlocked as that country is, where they don't have access to as many things as we take for granted here in the States, for instance. These people are incredibly humble and giving, and at the same time, very conservative in their approach to life. And they stick to their morals and their ethics and their culture. And that's really impressive in a world that seems to be jaded, or takes a lot of things for granted, or takes advantage of what's going on in the world today. So even though it's been a long time, it's something that I've never forgotten and I continue to remember. If I could fix the technical difficulties, two of us have been there, and I'm not going to steal her thunder, but Marian and I have both been there, and she can speak to her own, whatever point she wants to make. But we took a lot of pictures, and Marian was only there last year, and so her pictures are actually more current, and a lot of things have changed since I was there. My pictures tend to be a little bit older, so you could actually get a sense, at least from my vantage point as an outsider, as a third party. Marian and I are not from Nepal, so our observations are one of what is it like to be an outsider going into a country you've never been to before, and having that unique perspective. There's another person who's going to present who's actually from Nepal, who was one of my students, who's actually instrumental in getting this location for us, who's also going to perform, and it's Dolma, who's standing next to Marian. So she's got her own personal perspective, and I would absolutely encourage you to talk to the other people here. Amir is sitting back there hiding, the one with the large mane of hair. He's one of my students. He's also from Nepal. And I suppose you could speak to the people who are performing and the guests as well, and get a really unique perspective on a country that a lot of you have heard of because of Mount Everest, but maybe not had the opportunity to go and visit. So with that said, the other thing that's going on, so we're having the food, we're having this fundraiser. Our intention is to raise this money to do something that hopefully makes a difference. Amir, if you speak to him, and it really, really shook me when he told me that he couldn't find his parents for 3 days. He literally had to walk in and out of my class. Matter of fact, he was ducking into my classes while I was teaching that he wasn't even a part of, and I told him, don't, just keep coming. Stop me if you have to. And then eventually he reached them. It was really good. And Aditya, who left, was running into the same problem. And people that I know, they were running the same problem. So imagine if you can't reach your family. I moved here from California. I know what earthquakes are about. I went through the '89 quake, and no one could find me, even though I was fine. People get really, really ripped up inside. But we also found, and I would suggest you speak to Amir, that there are people who are sleeping in the fields. So it's the highest place in the world, right? It easily gets cold at night, and the monsoon season's coming. So imagine that your home is devastated, you're sleeping in the fields, you're in the elements, it's cold at night, and you're about to get rained on. So the organization that we're approaching is actually, when are you going to talk? Okay, I won't go into that. I'll let I try to stay on point. The women are keeping me in check, as they say. Anyway, I won't talk about that part, but we're trying to make a difference in these people's lives right now when they're actually going through a lot. And I guess it's Marian, she's going to talk about it, or Dolma, and they can talk about the organization that we've decided to focus on. The last thing I'll point out is that we've got an auction going on, and it's just another way that we're looking to raise money. They're from 5 different artists. There's an original oil piece that I brought back when I was there, which is the man who is laboring.
We appreciate all the support we're getting. So the last count I had this morning was 7,912 people who died in the earthquake, and the numbers are just staggering. 10% of people have lost their homes, and about 3,000 something that's just in Kathmandu itself. And it's been 13 days since the earthquake. According to Buddhist and Hindu tradition, they're in mourning for 13 days, and then they end that. And so the news reports have said that things are returning to normalcy. But I do think that Nepal also has a long road ahead. And then with all your support, we could contribute that, like help those efforts to help them rebuild. In fact, the Nepali government has asked the search and relief teams from 34 different countries to leave already, because now they're focused on the rehabilitation and restoration part of this. So there is just so much you could do, and this actually has like a personal impact to me, because like I was there, as Ian mentioned, about 2 years ago, and just meeting with the people and talking to them, just how they were so generous and how they took me in, and how they were just so warm and open-hearted, and just sharing like everything they had. And I just felt like with this earthquake, it compelled me to do something, and that's why we're here today to put this fundraiser together. And so I just really thank you all for coming, from the bottom of my heart. I'm going to turn it over to Dolma, who will share.
We would like to thank you immensely on your support and your engagement in helping us help Nepal. The big hit and the aftershock has forced many people to be displaced, and the fact that more than 80% of the home has been destroyed. Our goal here is to use the fund in aiding the people with shelter and health sanitation. So we're majorly involved with the group Gabi FRC, which stands for Food, Roof, Cotton, which is located in Kathmandu. This group is comprised of mostly students and recent graduates who have been volunteering to help many ever since the disaster. So they started out by picking up an entire warehouse in Kathmandu, bought flex materials to build tents. The very first day, with only 20 volunteers, they produced 33 tents. And by the 8th day, they produced 400 tents. As of today, we have had more than 1,350 tents. The cost of each tent is about $10. Actually, it is $10. $9 for the raw material, $1 for the cost of food and water for the volunteers. So with this being said, it is certain that many people around the world are contributing their time, money, and effort to offer their hand to lift the fallen friends and dust it back. And this has not only supported the people back in Nepal, but also united many of us with the humanitarian cause. Our service may come in form of assisting Nepal, but you have encouraged us to make this event happen. Thank you very much.
And we are the groups. We're going to perform the song Raturu Chandra. So yeah, enjoy guys.
some of these songs are hundreds of years old. Not the English ones, but the Nepali ones. Hope you guys enjoy it. This first song is called Herdama Ramro. It's from a region in Nepal called Pokhara, which if you've ever been there, is a really big tourist attraction, and for good reason. It's a beautiful place. So yeah, this song is really old.
Vou tirar foto aqui no monte de homem.
एउटा हातमा चम्किरहने तारा सरह के हो कहिले काहीँ हामीलाई पनि उडाइलगा हामी तल तिमी माथि टाढा भयो यो दुई साथी एकै छुमा बिराइ जान्छौ कता लाग्छौ भन ठाकी कता लाग्छौ
Got it?
Is that it?
Let's try.
If you open it,
It's done.
so make sure
How much did it cost? Thank you. I'll give it to you, okay?
I'll come back.
Thank you.
All those